Hi guys, Beck here. Welcome back to TLC. Wanted to take you through a little deep dive into some exercises for bar that you could do with a chair. This chair is quite low, so I'm going to take that into account when I'm doing this class. As you would already know, with your bar exercises at a chair, you can't do anything that's weight bearing. So I can't do any high back chairs, I can't do any floating lunges, and I can't do anything where I do like high back chair at the bar or extension of the leg when I'm leaning against the bar. But here are some exercises that you can do, and this particular class I think is going to be really good. Even if you don't have props, you can do a lot of things with the handy chair. So let's get started. If I was to do my thigh work, I would be doing something like this. I'd have my feet together, lift the heels, and I do my legs squeezing together, and I do some hinged forward positions. Now this is really going to target my thighs quite quickly. I do 8 to 12, and then I would do 2 to 3 layers, so that 8 to 12 of everything, 2 to 3 layers of everything, pulsing it down, and then I do little knee openings, squeezing in and out. 8 to 12, and then from there I'd stand it up and I'd potentially do, say, some Pilates V, so super gluing the heels together. They don't need the bar for these, so I could go hands on hips, arms first, even arms, fifth to first, or fingertips lightly to bar. 8 to 12, 8 to 12 pulses, little knee wraps. So nice and simple, just the things you'd normally do. Now from there, to finish off my thigh work, I'd go parallel feet, and I'd either go 90 lunge tap forward, 8 to 12, and or 90 lunge static lunge, 8 to 12, 8 to 12 pulses. Then I'd hold down and do, say, 8 to 12 heel lifts, zipping the belly up, wrapping that front hip forward back, and then keep the heel lifted, 8 to 12. And if I wanted to do an extra layer or a different layer, I do little knee wraps out. From there, I do a lean forward, do like an arabesque. Lift back to my lunge position, hands light to the bar. And from there, I might go into a little glute set. So I might do fold over arabesque, even forearms down to the chair for this works, or to the back of the chair. 8 to 12, let's say 8 pulses, 8 to 12 pulses, whatever layers you want to do, exactly the same. Rainbow, squeezing the inner thighs together, outer hip, inner thigh. Flex the foot, bend it in, get into some hamstrings, squeeze, maybe add a little heel lift as I extend it back. And then maybe doing a little pulse of heel to sky, lots of hamstring work. Now I want to get into my external rotators, so I'd probably do like a curtsy, just a few full range, say 8 to flush it out. Then I might do like, say, a little knee lift to the side, getting into the side of my glute, external rotation through the legs, side glute, 8 to 12, maybe a few little pulses there, knee opening to the side, 8 to 12, and then I'd pulse in my curtsy. So now I've done plenty of thigh work in parallel and external rotation. From there, I'd probably go to my second position. So once you've done the pulses and the curtsy, flush it out in second. A little bit of a side leg lift. And then 3 layers. So I'm going to do pulsing arm to leg. 8 to 12, flex the foot. Bend and extend nice and slow, like you're moving through honey, really resisting. Bend the knee. Little parallel clams getting into the side of the glute. Now from there, I'm going to do a little flush, so I might do little brushes using the chair for support. Now I could either go back to all of this parallel leg work again if I was being real nasty, which I probably would. Let's say 8 to 12 of those. Little knee wraps out and in. I might skip the Pilates V, step the left foot back and do 90 tap, or straight into, feels a bit better to just go straight into the static. When you're stepping forward, you're leaning forward, it feels slightly odd, so there you go, 90 lunge, static lunge, 8 to 12. My layers, 2 to 3 sets, I'm doing 8 pulses, hold, They can even lift one or both arms to the sky. Heel lift with the heel lifted, 8 to 12 pulses. Woo. Fingertips to the chair, knee wraps, external rotation, parallel, external, parallel. And then I'm gonna go for my arabesque lift and my 90. They can still use the chair for support. So let's just do this one quickly. This is the other side. Pulse, 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 rainbow, or whatever layer you want to add. The magic number tends to be 3 layers. I'm doing probably 4. My motto is if in doubt, pulse. If in doubt, add an extra layer, hamstring pulse. I'm going to go back to my full range. I want to get into some curtsy lunges. This is relatively chill, 8 to 12 of those. Then I'm going to go hand to my hip, add a little side leg, curtsy. Side leg, knee to the side. I'm trying to get into the side of my glute, and I'm also an external rotation as I do my curtsies. Little pulse. Wrapping the knee back slightly so I feel the back of the glute. I'm going to pulse my curtsies now. You could even add an extra one with a heel lifted if you want to be mean. And then you've got second position, back to external rotation. And say 8 of those, and then side leg lift to second. Now you've noticed that my chair is half on my mat. If it's not on my mat, it's going to slide away. So make sure it is. Pulse. Relaxing the shoulder down away from the ear. I'm going to do flex foot. 3, 2. My last layer there is my knee pulse. And then from there, I'm going to do my flush. Now, let's get into some fun. So I would do that. Then I'd say, okay, everyone, turn the chair around. Make sure the chair is on the mat completely for safety. For safety, okay? We're going into Bulgarian lunges. Left foot onto the chair, pivot away, heel is lifted. Toes can be tucked under, or you can press onto the top of the foot. Hands to hips, hop forward, lean forward, down into a lunge, straighten through the front leg. This won't be for everyone, so if they can't do it, 90 lunge or staggered lunge. Foot down like that, but they're leaning forward so that they get into the glute. Right knee opens over the second, third toe. I'm going to do 8 to 12. I'm only going to do 1 layer, which is going to be 8 to 12 pulses. I'm then going to release into a full range movement. I'm going to do a big, either a sumo squat, adding some heel lifts, or I'm going to do second position, maybe adding some pulses at the end, or I'll just do a basic squat, maybe with heel lifts. Once I finish that, other side, guys. Bulgarian lunge, right foot to edge of chair, pivot away, lift the heel. I'm on the ball of the foot, hands to hips. Feet are hip width apart, tiptoe forward, lean forward. Inhale down, push into the heel, exhale up. Left knee tracks over the second, third toe. Wrap the right hip forward. If you're struggling, staggered squat, staggered lunge position. Feet a little bit apart, like 2 feet apart, leaning forward. Great modification, feels almost exactly the same. Glute heavy this one, and hamstring heavy. 8 to 12, pulse it down for, but I do 8 to 12, yep. All right, from there, again, flush, maybe even something different, a bit looser. You've done plenty of glute work. All right, then from there, I'm here, so I've got to get back there. So I might go hands down, mountain climber, 5, say however many you want to do, down dog. Walk it back, sit your bum down, ta-da, and then I'm going to slide forward. The mat, the chair is on the mat, very important. We're going to do some hip lifts. So I'm going to pop the edges of my shoulder blades on the chair, wiggle forward, lift the hips, down and up, squeeze the glutes. Eight to 12. Little pulse, little knee wraps. probably 2 sets of those. Come down, walk one foot in underneath you, then the other, come out of it safely. Now, that would be like my glute section. One more thing, I'd go hand down, flip, bridge with the feet on the chair. Get your bum nice and close to the chair, arms are long, push into the heels, lift up, heels are pressing. This is a bit more hamstring heavy. The heels might slide forward to make it even more hamstring heavy. Hands to hips to support. Elbows down if you want. You could hold and do single leg lift, maybe even single bridge. I don't probably only do 8 because that's really strong for those hammies. It depends how strong your class is. And then I'd hold, get them to roll down. Now from there, I'd probably go into like the lower body, the upper body section. So you've got tricep dips, so they can flip. And I would probably get them to sit first. We'll pop their hands to the edge, bum to the edge. Now they walk it out, straighten the legs for most challenge, lower it down, elbows in, try to lift up and out of the shoulders. The shoulders will roll forward a bit, that's totally fine. Tempo change, down for 3, 2, 1, up for 1, 3, 2, 1. Pulses, or again, 8 to 12 full range, probably 1 layer, 8 to 12. Now, to be really nasty, well, I'd superset probably some tricep push-ups. Elbows in, right over the wrist, pulsing. Then I'd be real mean and do chest press push-ups with the feet on the chair. Inhale down, exhale up. If this is too strong, one knee down, leg lift, and then they can quickly switch. I'll show you another modification after this. Elbows on a slight diagonal, 12 variations. Say they're in the full variation, lift it up. We're gonna go right knee down to the mat, shin is lifted, back toes are tucked, squeeze, release, push, squeeze, release. Let's say 8 of those. Push into the hands, lift it up, place it back, pop the left knee down, exhale, squeeze, release, exhale. 8 to 12, that's a lot. Place it down, pop that knee down, other knee down. Now, if I wanted to modify the chest press push-up, I'd get them to make a triangle so that's more bicep-y, because if they abduct their elbow and internally rotate, be more bicep heavy than elbows in. And doing this push-up variation on the chair. Adding some pulses because they don't have to hold all their weight, it's a lot lighter. And then obviously you can use this as a bit of a stretch as well. You can use the chair for the stretch. Step it forward, adding a nice fold when you're coming into your stretches at the end of the class. So those are some fun things that I would do with the chair. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have questions, pop them down below and I'll get back to you. If you would like me to film a full class plan, I'm more than happy to. If not, doesn't matter. Hopefully that'll help you with that one. And I'll see you guys next time.